Hi, this is the first installment of Ask the Vocal Coach. Each week, I am going to answer a question that has either been emailed to me, asked by a student, or maybe YouTube to me, posted about singing and vocal coaching. This week's question was posed to me by one of my new students, Jen, and also posed over the weekend by a mutual friend of my husband's and myself named Kim. Can anyone sing? The short answer is yes, but for some it's no. The no's would be people with some type of physical or mental disability that would allow them not to hear properly or not to speak properly, or some type of mental problem that wouldn't allow them to be able to comprehend the music. However, I have had autistic students, one in particular that had a great vocal talent and was able to sing something back to me verbatim, including the details of the vocals after only a few listens. So even though sometimes there are some learning disabilities, it doesn't seem as attached to musical ability as you would think it would be. As for nurture versus nature, there are some people who do have more natural music ability than others. I do have children that come to me. The least I take children is nobody under 7 because they don't have the cognitive ability yet to really have me help them. But I do have 7 and 8-year-olds who come in and have perfect pitch and these wonderful voices. They already have vibrato. So there's definitely some genetic predisposition. Actually, there have been some interesting studies with musicality, and I'm looking at my notes, and the trait perfect pitch, that in fact, there are some people that seem to have better perfect pitch than others. However, they have found that those that do have, quote unquote, the perfect pitch have usually been introduced to an instrument at an extremely young age, about 4 years old, that they've been put on a piano, taught violin, a guitar's been put on their hands, they have musical parents. So I think part of that natural is really instilling pitch in music and introducing it into a child in their early developmental stages. Then there's other people who are introduced to music very late in their development. I would actually be one of those people. I was not in a musical household. I loved singing. In grade school, the kids in the choir told me to be quiet because I didn't sound good. By 14, I really started working on my singing, and I did the school talent show. And then at 19, I got a job at a music store. But I worked really hard at it, and pitch was not natural to me either, something I had to work very hard at. I still have to work hard at it. However, I definitely practiced and practiced and practiced. So I do think over time, if anybody really has the strong desire to sing and really wants to sing, I do think that they can learn to sing. Some people, like I said, maybe don't have as much natural ability as others, so they have to work a little harder. But if the passion is there and the desire is there, and mostly what they're finding, if the discipline is there, you can be successful. Actually, there was a book written called The Outlierst by a man named Malcolm Gladwell, and in his book, he spoke to other professors. He's from the, I guess, University of Florida, right? Florida State University. And he did a study with other professors that study success, and they found that highly successful people have several things that are consistent. And those things would be, one, is that they're introduced early to whatever it is that they're good at. Secondly, that they practice it, that they've spent at least 10 years or 10,000 hours doing what they're doing to at least begin to master it, and that they've had the support of people around them in mastering that skill. I would say it's a very fair assessment that to really become a good quality musician, that it takes about 10 years at anything, whether you're like me, if you're riding horses or if you're skiing or even crocheting, to really master something takes 10 years. So for those of you out there who maybe are younger and just started, or maybe if you started when you were really young, like 5, that means at 15 you're going to be great. If you started at 15, that means at 25 you're going to be great. And if you start at 25, by 35, you might actually be rocking out. So um, anybody can sing if they want to bad enough. So I hope that answers your question. Also, too, if you look in the sidebar, you'll notice on the YouTube that there are links referring to some of the things that I had mentioned in here if you'd further like to look at them yourself. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions. So either post them at an email at terrylittlemusic.com, or you can post it as a response on YouTube, or you can even do it on Facebook, or you can tweet me. Just look up Terry Little Music or Terry Little in parentheses on Google, and you should be able to find me. Thanks.